Hi, Content Studio family. This is Adil. I hope everybody is fine. So, just guess what we've got today? We've got the founder of the oldest and one of the biggest marketing agency in UK, Nadeem, the founder. Please, thank you very much for joining us today, Nadeem. It's our pleasure to have you around. So you can say hi.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Adil. Thank you so much.
Okay, so since Nadeem, you already know that we been there for like 3 years, 3.5 years. We've got around 60,000 businesses and marketing individuals using the platform throughout these 3 years. You are amongst the early birds. You've been there for like 2 years
Yeah.
now. I first spoke to you 2 years back. Um, Around in 2018 or something. So ever since then, you've been using the platform. You've been working with. If I give you a little background about Nadeem and how big he's playing out in UK, and about his name, the services, the quality of work is done for clients like Disney and Warner Brothers, and all the clients that he will speak for him. So can you please go ahead, Nadeem, and tell us a little bit about your business and what you have done now for about 24 years now?
Thank you very much, Adil. So I founded Aza Marketing in 1997. So we're approximately 23 years into our business now as one of the world's very first digital marketing and design agencies. We started off with a portfolio of very small clients, one-man bands, and over the decades have gradually worked our way up towards working with the biggest and best brands in the world, includes the likes of Nike, for example, Google. So Google, to this day, actually, they have been contacting us about procuring more leads for their Google Ads service through our email list, and so on and so forth. So we've been very fortunate in terms of being able to work with both small clients and large ones as well. In terms of the services we provide, they range all the way from affiliate marketing, social media management, search marketing, both PPC and SEO, and web design and development services for companies.
That's wonderful. And speaking of your experience, your agency experience and all, I'm sure that you must be giving some cutting edge services to these clients, and that's why you've acquired these businesses in the past as well. So have you recently revamped your website as well? Has that been going good?
Yes, we recently launched our first internal website in 10 years. We've
Wow.
obviously built a huge number of websites for clients, hundreds and hundreds over the years, and have won awards for some of the work, such as Yahoo Website of the Week, for example, back in the day. But we've been so focused on client projects that we haven't had the time to work on our own websites, which have become a bit dated. So recently we released a website which is called Aza Domains. And what that does is enable people to buy premium, prime domain names and websites, which have in some cases over 15 years of history. So mature inbound links to established websites. And what this allows people to do is, rather than build websites from scratch using domain names that have no history with Google and with other search engines, they can procure domain names that have mature aged links to them, and therefore rank higher in the search engine listings than from starting with a domain name from scratch.
Hey, that's wonderful. That's exceptional. Okay, so now the process. I'm sure you must be using a lot of tools for lead generation and for website building and SEO and stuff. How do you see Content Studio helping you to streamline your social media management services?
We've been doing social media management for a very long time, and I'm sure over the last 10, 12 years, we have probably tested and experimented with way over 250 social media management tools of different complexities. The tool that we have settled down on is Content Studio, because this is the best of breed. In terms of its functionality, its usability, and the results we see from it, it is second to none.
Okay, thank you very much for your words. And being a market leader for like decades now, and we've got around, like I said, we've got around 60,000 people, and we've got thousands of them from UK. They are businesses, they are marketing individuals. So I want you to, help them, give them some key tips of, based on your experience, that how what kind of processes they can set up in order to onboard clients for their content marketing using our agency with Content Studio, like So I am using a Content Studio platform for all my clients as well. So can you just explain a little bit of how and what is the best process, not only in Content Studio, in terms of proposing your clients, in terms of reaching out to them, like via cold email or via inbound contact or engagement? What is the best strategy that you think that will come handy to the clients and to the users listening to this as a market leader?
Using a social media management tool is vitally important in terms of your efficiency and your productivity.
Mm-hmm,
There are a plethora of social media channels nowadays, all the way from Twitter to Facebook to LinkedIn to
mm-hmm,
Pinterest, Google My Ads, and so on and so forth. So manually posting content on each one of these social media channels is a hugely time-consuming experience. Therefore, I think
mm-hmm,
it's vitally important for any business of any size to consider using a tool that will save them a huge amount of time. For example, in terms of us using Content Studio, we have a client who's in the investment sector, so a finance
mm-hmm,
client.
mm-hmm,
Now, our social media manager, one of our social media managers here at Aza Marketing, was
mm-hmm,
spending 14 hours a week on procuring content and then
mm-hmm,
posting content
mm-hmm,
across several different social media channels for this client, 14 hours a
mm-hmm,
week on average.
mm-hmm.
Now,
Oh.
since we switched to using Content Studio for this client, so using the ability to be able to find content that can potentially go viral through the
Mm-hmm,
feature and functionality within Content Studio, and then
mm-hmm,
using their central one-stop shop to be able to syndicate this content across all of this
mm-hmm,
client's social media channels, the amount of work for that staff member has dropped to an average of 7.5 hours a week. So from
mm-hmm.
14 hours a week to 7.5 hours a
It
week.
cuts
That's
50% of your
saving,
time.
that's 50% of our time, approximately, as you said, Adil.
Mm-hmm,
Now, just to put that into context, 7 hours a week, let's take,
mm-hmm,
across 50 weeks of the year. So 7 times by 50, 350 hours a year of time
mm-hmm,
saving. Now, if you put a value on the staff member's time of, let's just say $40 an hour, $40 an
mm-hmm,
hour, the salary for the staff member and everything that goes into having that staff member in our company. So 350 multiplied by the $40 comes to $14,000 a year.
mm-hmm.
$14,000 a year. That's how much money we are saving by using Content Studio.
Yes. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you very much for sharing this case study with our audience as well. Okay, so and apart from your experiences, Nadeem, can you hear me all fine? It seems like you're stuck. Can you hear me all fine?
Perfectly, I can hear you
Okay,
perfectly.
so
Yes.
Nadeem, apart from your strategy for social media marketing services that you prefer to use Content Studio for, uh, how do you think, what are the key factors for you as an agency, for all the agency owners listening to this video, are there for the client acquisition aspect of the business? Of course, you better know now, you're experienced enough. You know that getting a product, getting a tool is not, it's not the job. I know you have to build processes, you have to build teams, you have to send the right proposals, you have to target the right audience, right clientele. You need to engage with them, and you need to first sign them up, make them believe that you are going to generate numbers for them. So how do you do it, and how you've been doing it for so many years in the past, having client acquisitions like Warner Brothers and Disney?
So as you said, there's a lot involved in terms of the logistics of running a company and the
Mm-hmm,
services that provides, human resources, procuring the relevant staff, and the finances, the accounts, the management of the company.
mm-hmm,
There's a lot involved, but a
mm-hmm,
fair number of people can do that fairly competently. The missing
Mm-hmm.
piece of the jigsaw, as I see it, with most businesses that fail to succeed, is in terms of the marketing side, is in terms of being able to procure clients and customers. There's a
Mm-hmm.
famous saying from Bill Gates. He was asked, if you had $1 left, what would you spend the $1 on? And he said, I would spend the $1 on marketing. Now, this is
Mm-hmm.
Bill Gates saying this, because
Mm-hmm.
you can have the best product in the world, you can have the
Yes.
best service in the world, but if
Yes.
nobody knows about it and you're not able to procure clients for it, then
Yes.
it's as good as not having that service or product. And that's where I find the vast majority of business people fall short. They fall in love with their product and they imagine their product to be the best in the world, and it could quite well be. But they
Mm-hmm.
don't realize that for, as I say, for every 1 hour you spend on your product, you need to spend 9 hours on the marketing of that product. And they get the
Mm-hmm.
equation wrong. They spend the 9 hours on the product itself, and then they spend the 1 hour on trying to sell that product. And that's where they fall short.
Thank you very much for sharing that too. Just so everybody knows, uh, I have a I've been in client relationship for about a decade now, and I've spoken to more than 10,000 business owners in the
Mhm.
past 3 years. And believe it or not, after speaking to Nadeem and all he has done and all he's still doing, he's one of the best professionals I've ever spoken to.
Oh, you're too kind.
So, the way he drives you, the way he, suggests, the way he transform his experience, that's the hardest job one can do. To transform your experience and your skill sets and your takes onto someone else. So that's the hardest job one can do. And if people can do it, everybody could have done it by now. It's not that easy. So thank you very much for, transforming your experience in just 60 seconds about the client acquisition and about how you can run your business smartly and profitable. I certainly know that you have generated more than £1 billion of sales in the past years that you've shared. So, and what last question I have with you, Nateem, I'm not going to take much of your time today. So what is that one thing that you would suggest listening, just imagine more than 60,000 people listening to you? What is that one message that uh, you advise and you recommend or you suggest to people that are listening, that are trying to scale their business, they're trying to get it profitable, they're in these crucial times, they're try to build something. So for, I mean, Content Studio main user base are basically the business owners, marketers that are trying to monetize their content marketing, or they want to do the same for their clients. So what is that one message you would share at the end?
Thank you very much. It's difficult to hone in on just the one recommendation and encouragement. But what I would encourage people to do is not to lose hope. Do not
Hmm.
lose hope in terms of what's happened with the COVID-19 situation. It set a lot of businesses back, ourselves included. But the important thing to note is that some of the biggest and best companies in the world started out in depressions and in recessions. Some of the
Hmm.
hugest, biggest companies on the planet started out in very difficult economic times. Ourselves at Aza Marketing, to give you an idea, the most profitable years in our history were 2008/2009 and 2009/2010. So this was the time of the last economic downturn. But I did not let that get me down. I didn't look at the doom and gloom all around me and all the other businesses and the business owners who were just talking in a negative way. No, I said to myself, I said, I will God willingly beat this recession. I will work 10 times harder if I have to, and I will work 10 times smarter, and I will defy the laws of gravity, as it were, in terms of
Hmm.
being able to accelerate the growth of my company. And I did that. So don't
Hmm.
let this post-COVID situation and all the negativity that we see around us get you down. Your competitors will have that negative mindset. If you have the positive mindset, you can grow like there is no tomorrow.
Thank you very much. That was powerful. So In short, in simple words, stay hopeful, and never be negative. Stay positive, never lose hope. So that's all what matters at the end, that how bad you want it. So it's just about that. So you have to be consistent, you have to be positive, you have to be well driven, and just keep pushing hard. Days will change. Tomorrow maybe your day. So you have to be there. So thank you very much, Nadeem. One more time, I would definitely love you to share the credentials and your email. You can speak that out loud so people can reach you out for everything that they need to help, with their business, in terms of consultation, in terms of social media, high-end social media marketing services that you're providing, and all the development services and all the other range of services for lead generation you're providing to all these businesses for so many years. So you can uh, reach him out at Azam Marketing. His name is Azam. You can reach him out on the main web page. You can contact him anytime you want, and I guarantee, this is some word that someone has spoken to 10,000 business owners in the past years, saying about him that he will reach you back and he will help you in any capacity possible.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate your kind sentiments, Adil. Yes, absolutely. In terms of our credentials, our website, our corporate website is at www.azam.net. So that's
Mhm,
azam.net. Our
mhm,
blog, I'd very much recommend all business owners to try and visit and to subscribe to, is azam.info. So that's
mhm,
azam.info.
mhm,
And we publish
mhm,
lots of content there. We have hundreds and hundreds of articles in the archives. In
mhm,
terms of growth hacks, so techniques
mhm,
that we've learned from hundreds of thousands of hours in online marketing that have been proven to work for us. So I'd very much recommend your viewers to visit our
mhm,
blog and look into the archives to see how we've been able to scale up our business and those of
mhm.
our clients. And then last
Yes.
but not least, as we've been talking about social media, we are very active across uh, the entire array of social media channels. So that's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn,
Mhm,
Instagram, and so on and so forth. So simply search
mhm,
for Azam Marketing, or in terms of myself, Nadeem Azam. Search for the
mhm.
either, and you'll be able to find and connect with us through those channels.
Okay. I certainly appreciate you sharing your credentials and word for the help. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to this. Thank you very much, Nadeem, for having presented and been interviewed today. It was entirely our pleasure. Pleasure. I cannot say it enough. So thank you very much for taking out time today. Everybody, you reach out to this guy. He's a super duper. He's got all the experience you can ever imagine of,
Thank
and
you.
with the clients he has worked for, with the revenue he has generated for his agency. So you just ping him back anytime that you want help, or you want information and strategies or consultation for your business, and let's grow together. This is what he believes in. So until then, for the next episode, you'll see me again. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much, Nadeem.